I always love walking to work in London, but I'm particularly enjoying it this May, probably because I've been enjoying a lot of 1950s and 60s musicals. I saw the film Camelot, and the wonderful song, The Lusty Month of May, has been running through my head. That lovely month when everyone goes blissfully astray. It's here, that shocking time of year, when tons of wicked little thoughts merrily appear. It's May, it's May. And I sing this as I walk along the streets of London. But then the other night I went to see Oklahoma, and of course, Oh, What a Beautiful Morning also got stuck in my head. And actually today isn't a beautiful morning, but yesterday was. Today is a particularly exciting day to walk to work because I am going to work at 2 Temple Place, the wonderful neo-Gothic building built for Lord Astor in 1891 when he was the richest man in the world. This is such a great way to start the day. It's not even 9:30 and here we are. My home for today, Lord Astor's house on the bank of the Thames. It's just beautiful, this wonderful marble inlaid floor. And the art at this exhibition has been placed throughout the house. And so one can feel as though you really are actually living in the house. And of course it delights me to walk up the staircase and to see a work by one of the gallery artists, Dr. Philshaw, hanging in such a prominent place. This is a really good view of this piece, which is called A Special Relationship. And you can clearly see that the coloured books represent the British Isles. Here we have Scotland, England, Wales and Ireland. All the blue books are real books, and they are all about journeying from the United Kingdom to America. So our kin across the sea with the Scottish whalers, frontier Scots. And then the coloured books are actually all placed in the correct geographical location. But instead of Liverpool being Liverpool, England, it's Liverpool, Texas. And here is Ayrshire, but it's Ayrshire, Iowa. And here is Dumfries, but it's Dumfries, Virginia. And Philshaw has found real books and he has placed them in the geographical location that they belong in, but they are American place names. And he shows through that the strong connection that America has with the United Kingdom, how all its, here we have the Niagara Escarpment from Tobermory to Niagara Falls. And so you just get this real sense of the interlinking and historical roots of the two countries. But it looks just marvellous on this beautiful oak panelling. Well, here is a very dear old friend. And doesn't it look wonderful on this oak panelling? What an extraordinary juxtaposition. When I think of how this whole building was based on the European ideals of beauty, and this painting by Ronnie Tjampitjinpa was produced a hemisphere away, but again it represents thousands of years of artistic practice, of continuous knowledge handed down through the ages. And it's a really wonderful picture, and its simplicity must not be mistaken for simplicity. In order to paint a painting like this, the artist had to have the knowledge akin to us knowing the Iliad or the Odyssey off by heart, a huge body of knowledge. But over the millennia, the stories have been abstracted, and so that you end up with this amazing grid of 8 Tingari circles. They're not actually circles, but they're rhomboids. And this is where, in the creation time, the ancestors emerged into the earth, walked across it, sang it into being, a bit like me singing on my way to work this morning, and then went back down into the earth where they remain today. And even you don't really need to know the stories behind this picture to just realize and feel the power of this very small work. And in this grand room with all these medieval carvings and beautiful references to Christianity and the Greek gods, this little picture, to my mind, and it's a very old friend, I've lived with it for a long time, just pulsates with energy. And I think it's a really exciting juxtaposition. Well, the fair is filling up. It's 10 o'clock now, and it's just so great. I'm so excited seeing our paintings from the Rebecca Hossack Art Gallery hanging in this magnificent palace on the banks of the Thames. And I really love the way the curators of the exhibition have placed beautiful contemporary objects like this fabulous sterling silver cocktail set, which I think no home should be without, and this beautiful table in front of our lovely Roy Wright drawing of an oak tree, which just looks fantastic on this oak panelling. Wow, this is just gorgeous. This picture by Mrs. Giles, a wonderful old lady from the Gibson Desert. I mean, incredible to see it in this situation, and it just looks, I mean, any great American abstract painter, eat your heart out. Mrs. Giles, wow, congratulations. The Tingari circles are here, the place where the ancestors came out in the creation period. And this is a particularly important Jacapa or creation story because it is the story of the emu ancestor. And I was actually very privileged to be given the emu as my animal totem, so I feel a great affinity with this picture. But from a purely art historical point of view, the sense of colour, the sense of movement, the sense of energy, and this was painted by a very old lady who had spent her life living in one of the harshest environments in the world, and she didn't meet the white or European man until she was well into adulthood, and so the strength of her cultural knowledge is profound, and I think that energy and power just sings through in this picture. And in this whole beautiful palace, this picture is the one that just blows my mind.